And by the way, there was damage to a building near Sanger and Valley View. Take a look at these photos. The storm moved east across northern Denton County, and the National Weather Service says it moved about 40 miles per hour. The Denton Fire Department responded to the damage near Lone Oak Road and I-35. And the hardest hit area from last night's tornado outbreak appears to be Valley View in Cooke County. Now, Texas Task Force 1 search and rescue was brought in to help search for victims in homes and businesses as well. Now, the Cooke County Sheriff says there are 2 confirmed fatalities. He says a tornado hit a mobile home park and a Shell Station travel center. The 2 people killed were found in the mobile home park as well. He says the dozens of people at the travel center along I-35 all survived, and he provided an update overnight. And here's a portion of that with more details.
We had a tornado move through the southern part of Cooke County, across the southern Cooke and northern Denton County line. And as you can see behind me here was a AP travel center, a Shell Station, which took a major hit. There's not much left of it, as you can see. Back to the west of us is FRF Estates, which is a mobile home trailer park area. It was heavily damaged. We do have some confirmed fatalities back in that area, at least 2, and possibly some more. But search and rescue is ongoing right now. We have a lot of assets back in the western part over here trying to gain access, and power lines were down, trees were down. It's taken a huge effort just to get back in there where most of the damage is. At least 2 fatalities so far. Sadly, there's probably going to be more. You know, we pray for those lost, but also that we can still find the injured and get help to.
Well, we mentioned those sheltering at the Shell Station survived. Here's more on what happened there from the sheriff.
Some had pulled in here to seek shelter. They had gone in the store, and actually quite a few of them had made it into the restrooms. So we didn't have any serious, surprisingly, any serious injuries at this location. But we did have probably 40 to 60 people out here that we have bused up to Gainesville.
You think that all bunching together in the restaurant saved lives, or damage?
Absolutely, absolutely. As you can see, a lot of destruction here. There's actually, if you've shot across the road to the south, there were some vehicles actually blown out into this pasture. There's one probably 200 or 300 yards over here in a stock tank. So those that sought shelter here definitely saved lives.
Well, the sheriff says those from the Shell Station were bused to a Quick Trip gas station in Gainesville. That is being used as a reunification center. All right, Celina, on the border of Denton and Collin counties was also hit hard. Take a look at your screen. Some of the damage we're showing you is a little hard to see because of the dark, and you know this happened overnight, but damage assessment will take time, as you can imagine. First responders say there were at least 10 to 15 homes severely damaged or destroyed. And we talked with one resident on Prairie Meadow Lane who came home after the storm to find her home destroyed, but her mother, who also lives in the neighborhood, was home.
I wasn't home. Our family wasn't home, luckily. We were in Fort Worth. My mom lives in a house behind us. They were home, but everyone is okay. We have heard that everyone on the street is okay, and unfortunately our house was a total loss, but you know, we're grateful that we're okay. It was a godsend we weren't home. The neighbor across the street had an RV and it landed on our house. The only part that's standing is where we would have been sheltered. So
you've talked to your mother. What'd she say?
They were trapped in their house. I was watching the news on my phone and I saw that it was headed toward this area in Celina, and so I was able to call her and wake her up, and they were able to get to safety before anything happened.
You mentioned, was your mom trapped inside the house at one point?
Yes, my mom and my stepdad and their dogs, but they were all rescued very quickly, actually. And all the neighbors have helped and found all of our animals, and so we're grateful.
Well, multiple agencies in Collin and Denton counties responded to the devastation in Celina, and right now there are several road closures and some areas blocked off as well. And our Fox 4 meteorologist Dan Henry and Allie Turiano tracked a tornado as it crossed Ray Roberts Lake about 10 miles north of Denton. Marina and an RV park were hit. Docks are torn up. A number of boats sunk. Many boats that are still floating are damaged, by the way, and the Denton Fire Department was on scene and reported they had to rescue some people who were trapped, and they reported multiple injuries as well. The damage for all the counties is so widespread, it is too early to determine how many people were injured. The lake sits between Pilot Point and Sanger, by the way, where significant damage has also been reported as well. Now we want to take a moment to look again at some of those damage that we just mentioned and what it tells us about the power of those storms. So what can you tell us? I mean, those videos and also the photos are just heartbreaking to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just devastating to see. I mean, just, you know, the damage is one thing, but the human
people affected.
The people affected. I mean, my hearts go out to all of those people. And like I said, we haven't even had daylight yet to really process what happened last night, but just looking at those videos that we saw on the camera, I mean, that is just devastating tornado damage there. I mean, it's tough to tell if those were mobile homes or actual sturdy brick homes. We'll know more later on this afternoon from the National Weather Service when they go out there and survey, but either way, I mean, that is absolutely devastating tornado damage there. That looks like a sturdy house there. I mean, you see significant chunks of that roof missing. So this tornado, it meant business, definitely on the stronger side. But we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to look at radar data. Like I said, the Weather Service is going to go out there, do detailed analysis of where exactly this tracked last night. What buildings were damaged, you know, what types of buildings saw that kind of damage. But I mean, you see there, looks like a vehicle displaced on a building, maybe.
Yeah.
It's tough
the wheels there.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. So, I mean, this is just and look, honestly, the other thing is too this is just from a meteorologist standpoint, but also just an emergency management standpoint. This is your worst nightmare, a tornado coming in the middle of the night. You know, it's also a holiday weekend. A lot of people are out and about. So this is why we stress to you guys to have multiple ways of getting that warning. Because, look, in May in Texas, this kind of thing happens.
Severe weather. Yeah, that's why it's important to have the map and all of that and you know, tune in and you know, we've got you covered, of course. So thank you, Dan, for that update, and we'll have more on that.